been closed. Westminster Tube Station is open now, but only for interchange. And Scotland Yard has confirmed that a major terrorist investigation is underway. Well, to get more information on that investigation, Sky's Home Affairs correspondent Mark White is at New Scotland Yard for us. And Mark, it must be very difficult for the police to try and deal with this kind of a terror attack. It's an unsophisticated attack, a person with a car and a knife, but at the same time with clearly devastating consequences.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big worry for police, not just in this country, but across Europe and America, really, for a number of years now. The fact that people have been launching what are really quite unsophisticated, but just as devastating attacks. We remember, of course, Nice and the lorry attack on the Christmas market in Berlin. They don't require an awful lot of planning at all. You just need to commandeer a vehicle. This attacker got what looked like, by the pictures on the ground, a couple of kitchen knives which were lying by his body as the officers and paramedics were working on him after he was shot. So it is very difficult for the security services necessarily to get a handle on the kind of the plot planning, because it might only involve the one attacker. There might be a small group of other people. That, of course, is something that the police and security services are now actively trying to establish. We understand that they do know who this attacker is, that there is an investigation which has involved police going to addresses linked to this individual, including this individual's home address and other people we understand who are associated with this person. It is an urgent, as you would understand, real-time inquiry, because what the police always have to be mindful of is the fact that there could be other linked attacks. We've seen it before in other European cities where you haven't just had one attack, you've had a succession of linked attacks. So that will be uppermost in the minds of the investigators as they try to get to the bottom of how this plot was organised and whether there were any other individuals involved. A couple of lines to share with you at this stage. Police confirming an earlier line that we reported this afternoon, that the officer, a male police officer on guard outside the Houses of Parliament who died, was not one of the armed diplomatic protection group officers who are tasked with guarding Parliament. They were unarmed, but still they pushed forward. They tried to tackle this individual and suffered fatal injuries as a consequence. But confirmation now from Scotland Yard that this officer was not armed. His colleagues, though, were fairly quickly on scene and were able to open fire and subdue the attacker. Another line, Her Majesty the Queen was due here at New Scotland Yard. This is a new building. It's moved here just in the last few months to Victoria Embankment, really just round the corner from the Houses of Parliament. The Queen was due to open this new building tomorrow, along with Cressida Dick, the new Metropolitan Police Commissioner. That has been postponed for obvious reasons. One more thing to impart is that Mark Rowley, the most senior counter-terrorism officer in the United Kingdom, Assistant Commissioner here at Scotland Yard, is due to give us a briefing, an update on the latest lines that they have sometime within the next 15 minutes or so.
And Mark, a very difficult day, of course, for the police and the security services. Eyewitnesses pointing out that while other people were running away from the terror attack, the police officers and those security forces were running towards the attacker. And of course, at the same time, they are having to deal with the fact that they have lost one of their own, as was said in the press statement earlier. So how difficult do you think it is for the police in the coming days?
Well, clearly it's difficult, and there will be a time for them to reflect on this, but they are professionals. They have to deal with the unfolding investigation, and the urgent investigation that is, to get to the bottom of this and find out if there is any further danger